can't figure out where to put the email.
Yeah, and so it should be, see, you should be able to just, you shouldn't have to let people in if you're logged in as her and you're already in there.
Okay. Anything that you all needed today, either like back, legs, shoulders. So I don't have anything particular in mind. Okay, Patricia, I don't know if you have anything in particular. Otherwise, I'm kind of feeling like a little bit more of an invigorating class, not extreme, but I feel like some movement, some strengthening today, some kind of like fiery breaths. It's really good this time of year as we are in Ayurveda, we are still in this element of water and earth. So this is kind of like that mud, that muddy time of year. As you can see, it's in our environment. And it's also in our bodies. We kind of carry, that's where that congestion comes from, our sinuses. Maybe we feel a little bit more lethargic. Then we usually do a little more sluggish. So it's really important when you learn about the elements. Good morning, Patricia. How's the lighting and the sound? Is it okay? And the backdrop, my curtains, my studio. Welcome to my studio. So as I was saying, if you really start to pay attention to the elements, we're made up of elements, and our environment is made up of elements: air, fire, earth, water, ether, the space in between. So when you start looking that way, it's really fascinating. Because I'm going to just turn the lights down a little bit in the back because I feel like it's giving a silhouette. Hold on, I'm sorry. That didn't really do anything, did it? Okay. Anyway, I did turn them down. So again, right now we're kind of in that mud. We're in the mud. We see mud on the ground. We see lots of precipitation. So we have a lot of precipitation right now in our body. We kind of correlate with the seasons. So it's important to do the opposite. It's important to fire things up. It's important to dry things out. It's important to move that congestion. Does that make sense? So that's how I like to work with yoga, is to balance maybe what's going on not only in our bodies, but maybe in our environment. So this is considered like the kapha time of year. So with that said, I picked a card for our class today. This is just Louise Hay. Is it Hayes? Louise Hay. And I like to pick a card before the class, just kind of have a nice little theme to work with. And this one says, I am motivated by love. On the back of it, it says, resentment, criticism, guilt, and fear come from blaming others and not taking responsibility for my own experiences. Resentment, criticism, guilt, and fear come from blaming others and not taking responsibility for my own experiences. So it's kind of an interesting card. It's funny for me, I've been trying to work on I am motivated by love, but more self-love, which is hard. It's hard right now during COVID time. to make sure you're taking care of yourself, loving yourself, doing self-care when maybe perhaps you have a family, like I have children at home a lot, and I have parents very close by overseeing. So it's like making sure there's that balance also of your own self-love and not putting so much love always out to everybody else, and then you're tired and depleted and you don't get enough love for yourself. So maybe something resonated with you on that card. Getting a little cold. So I think we should start moving. What I like to do, I'm going to scoot back a little bit and switch the position of your legs if you're sitting in a chair. I'm not sure if anybody's sitting in a chair or sitting on the bolster. So whatever it is, get nice and comfortable and just taking a moment. And I want you to just do some nice little organic movements, just kind of like slowly moving a little from side to side or in a circular motion, and just whatever is calling to you. I'd like you to move the joints. A lot of times there's accumulation of that mud in our joints, kind of like where it likes to go. And it's a little harder to move your elbows. Be creative. I can't see you. So be creative on how to move your elbows, move your shoulders, one at a time, both your hips. Move your neck. Maybe you feel some of that. I had a little bit of popping this morning, kind of letting out some air and just really allowing the body to wake up. And then you can extend your leg, moving the toes, moving the ankles. This is where the camera gets tough to get all the shots. So moving the toes, wiggling them, wiggling the other toes, the ankles. And you can even like move the knee and the hip. Again, a little harder to like isolate some of the joints. Be creative and just say good morning. Good morning to your body. Good. And then interlace your fingers, press the palms out. And remember, anything we do today, do it at your pace if it's a little fast, or take a break if you need to. Listen to what works. Bring your hands overhead. Take a nice inhale in, exhale. Good. So I want to do that again. I want you to bring your hands out, palms out. Bring them up overhead. This time we're going to inhale twice. We're going to kind of do quick inhale, like, and then exhale, bring the arms down. Let's do that again. Bring the hands up, inhale through the nose. Pause, exhale out through the mouth. 2 more. Interlace the fingers, let the palms press out. Inhale up through the nose. Pause. Then we're going to exhale out through the mouth. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Shake the legs out. You may be on a bolster, you may just be on the ground. Shake them out. Shake them nice, like get some rigorous circulation going. That's a big part of it, is getting the circulation, moving the lymphatics. ahead, while you're doing that with the hands, go ahead and pat. And then do some nice, it might be hard to do two things at once. So go ahead and let the legs relax and just swoop up, bringing the lymphatic system, moving the lymph system, coming down one side, up the back side, down the middle, up in the outer part. The lateral side, and down medial. Pressing up lateral. Good. Other side. So again, this is just really moving the body. So it's really great to kind of come down on the inside and then up on the outside. Good. It's just really moving the lymph. When you rub your hands together, so we're going to go a little quicker in this class. It'll be gentle, but it'll be quick. Rub, rub, rub. And then I want you to place them gently over the eyes. So you're creating some warmth on the eyes, especially from looking at the screen. Good. And then gently allow the fingers just stroke over the eyelids. So again, releasing any tension from looking at the screen or squinting. And let's do that one more time. So rub your hands together. Create some heat. And then press them over the eyes. And then again, just nice little paintbrush strokes over the eyelids. Good. And then come back into the seated position. Take a moment. And then soften your eyes and just kind of tune in. Just see if you feel some parts of your body awakening a little bit. And checking in to see how you're feeling now. Allowing the spine to be long, allowing the shoulders to be down away from the ears. Bringing the chin in towards the spine just a little bit. Take the tension off the back of the neck. Thinking about self-love. How can that be cultivated? A good start is coming to yoga class and taking care of your body, physically, mentally, spiritually. Maybe what other thing can you do today to cultivate self-love? Maybe taking a walk on a beautiful sunny day that it's supposed to be. Or journaling some of those resentments and fears and emotions on the back of the card so that you can let it go. Relaxing the jaw. And even opening up the mouth. Let's exaggerate the opening up the mouth. Like really like just without force, just Begin to open the jaw and even massage the mandibular right around. Just realizing maybe we clench a little bit. Maybe we really keep our mouth shut. We've been programmed to keep our mouth shut for so long. Maybe. My daughter has no problem not having her mouth shut. But really just kind of like working the tension in this area. Good, just rubbing it a little bit more. Giving it a little massage. All right. Let's go ahead and let's work our way out of this pose sitting, and let's begin to do some movement. Let's stretch out this. I got my socks on because it's still cold in my studio. Let's take out that right leg. Let's begin to heat up our core a bit. So if you want to join me, we're going to lift up this leg and let's bend it. And let's just pump up that heel towards the sky. And then go ahead and bring it in, and I want you to round your spine and then extend out. Good. Keep it extended, bend that knee, and let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Then go ahead and come on back. If you can sit on your heels, do so. Take a moment. So really kind of creating heat in the core is a great way to not only boost our metabolism, but to kind of get the juices flowing. Maybe even feel like, whew. So I'm going to switch over to the other side. Take the left leg back. Go ahead with the heel and press the heel back into the earth. A nice stretch in the calf. And then let's go ahead, extend it straight out, bend that left knee, and then let's just do some nice kind of pump ups. You're gonna do 10. Good. And now let's do 5, bringing it in, extend. Bringing it in, extend. So exhale as you bring this in. Exhale. Extend out, bend, and let's do just 5. Good, and then come back for a moment. Nice little rotation in the wrists. And then if you can, I want you to come up on your knees. If you do have, can't tell, if you do have knees that can be a little painful on the ground, then you can have a blanket. Give yourself a layer of protection. You could stand up, and we're going to just do a nice little arching of the back. So if you'd like to join me, I'm going to move this. There we go. Okay. So I want you to bring your hands right behind on the sacrum. Allow the elbows to come a little bit towards the midline. You can curl your toes. And all I want you to do is just take a nice little bend back. Good. Then we're going to come forward and you're going to work your way into downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, you're going to place your hands, allow the hands to be as spread out as they can. Place them on the mat, curl your toes under, and do a nice little gentle downward facing dog. Bending one knee. Bending the other knee. Bend both knees and press back. Come on down. Back into just a kneeling pose for a moment. Stretch out the wrist. Come up onto your hands and knees. Curl the toes under and press the chest up. Look up. Support your lower back. Good. Come on down. Let's do a few more rounds. Let's bring back up into downward facing dog. Bend, this time exaggerate the bend and bring it over to the other side. Just a little bit. Good. Come on down. Fix your yoga pants. Come on up. Curl the toes under and press back. Good. Take a moment. This time, what I want us to do is I want to go into Dolphin Pose. So Dolphin Pose is like downward facing dog. This is a little bit more strenuous, so you can decide. There's lots of modifications. You can do downward facing dog, which is really just bringing your forearms on the ground and continuing with that downward dog motion. If that's too much, you can do this against the wall, and you can even do that against the wall and kind of press gently into the wall to strengthen the arms. Or you can go into down dog on the wall. And again, kind of creating some polarity with like the push-pull. Or you can also against the chair. So there's lots of options. I'm going to show you the dolphin. And what we're going to do is it takes a lot of upper body strength. So I want to hold that for a few breaths and then go into child's pose. Come back out, hold that a few breaths and back into child's pose. Okay, so I want you to go at the pace that works best for you. Hopefully with my great cameraman work, you can see that. Interlace the fingers. Bring them down into a nice shaped triangle. Curl the toes. And then when you're here, I want you to press the shoulders back. Breathe. Then come on down. Bring your arms behind you and rest in child's pose. come back up. We're going to bring our hands out. And then go ahead and just create a nice big circle with your body. So you're leaning into it as you come forward. It's like distributing the weight. And then exhale, come back. Inhale, create a circle coming forward. So go slow and come back. Switch directions. And again, if you're in the chair, you can do this same motion in the chair. Good. Come back for a moment. This time, really shake your hands out, shake your arms. And let's try that dolphin again. So when you're ready, you want to interlace your fingers, create that triangle, and then lift up into downward facing dog. If that's too much, you can always be like this, but I want you to then kind of shift your weight back and forth a little bit to create some toning. Breathe and find the ease. Come down when you need to. Gently bring your hands down by the side and take a moment. While you're in child's pose, feel the spine lengthen. Allow your body to sink into the earth. Come up onto your hands and knees. Let's do some cat-cow. So when you're ready, let's begin a gentle inhale. Lift the tailbone up slightly. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lift the tail. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Really round the spine as much as you can here. Inhale, we're going to go slower with the breath. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And let's work our way up into slowly. First, coming into a squat. If this is okay, on your knees. If it's not okay to be in a squatting position, you can be on your bolster, but work on like extending the knees outward. So this is another possibility. Or if you're able to kind of squat down, just moving your knees side to side. How's everybody doing? Okay, thumbs up. Good job, Elizabeth. Where do you feel that in your knees? And now, when we do this, see if you can take one hand off. So right now I have my right knee and my right arm kind of holding and just creating a little twist. And again, you can do this on a block. Just be playful and explore where you're really feeling an area that's tight. I go back and forth. Maybe now you're able to twist a little bit deeper. One last time, if this feels okay for you, let's see if we can take it a little bit more. Nice. All right, ready to get up? So let's slowly begin to lift the legs and the hips, let the head hang. Now, if you're not able to touch the ground, that's okay. And create some nice little movement here. It's kind of like you're playing in sand. It's moving, fluid. Releasing the lower back. And then pause for a moment. Bring your hands on your elbows. Bring your feet in slightly. And then let gravity pull your spine gently downward. Let the head hang. Good. And let's let the legs come out again. And there's nice little drawings in the sand. And maybe you bring it up a little bit more. A little more. Whew. Until you can only see half of me on your screen. There we go. And just stand up and get nice and tall. Good. And let's just take a moment in prayer position. Maybe a little pumping of the heart, a little more than it was a little bit ago. Maybe the spine feels a little longer. You feel a little stronger in your legs, in the root. And let's work on a nice standing pose. I'm gonna move this probably a little more. Okay, it's either you see my legs or my head, but hard to get both. All right. So I want to work with Warrior 2 today. So Warrior 2 will be really nice on strengthening the legs. It will create some heat by doing that, and also keeping us grounded and rooted, which we can always use more of. So I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to mirror you. So I'm going to have my left leg out. Okay, so let's just create the space. Left leg out. Your right leg is going to come in. I like to think of it as a clock. And the way I'm looking at it is my foot is at about 2 o'clock. Your front leg is at like 3 o'clock. Does that make sense? So 3 o'clock on the front leg, so it's perpendicular to the wall. And then the left leg is 1:30, 2 o'clock. Okay. Right now, I just want us to lift up, inhale. See if I can get back a little further. And then exhale and just bending that front knee. You want to make sure the knee is in line and stacked with the ankle. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lift the palms upward as you come up. And then exhale. Palms down. Palms up. Inhale. Exhale. Palms down. One more, and we're going to hold the pose. Inhale and exhale. Drop the shoulders down slightly. Allow the head to look over towards the fingertips. Be sure you feel nice and steady. Let the toes spread out. Hold the pose. And relax. Bring your hands to your hips. Allow the toes to come inward a little bit, like you're going to downhill ski. And then fold forward. Hands down on the mat. Let the legs come out a little bit more if they need to. Bring the left hand on the ground and bring the right arm up. Release. Switch sides. Release. Switch sides. Release. Inhale. Hold the pose. And release. Slowly come back up. Stay here for a moment. Bend your knees. Put your hands, keep them here on the hips. Come down a little more. And then just allow the hips to kind of rock back and forth. And you can swivel a little bit. It's just opening up the hips. Good. Straighten them out. A little bit of a back bend, just slightly, just lifting the chest up a little. So you keep your balance. And then we're going to take that right leg, okay, opposite, like 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Bring that left leg in. It's like 11 o'clock. Keep the legs straight for a moment. Allow the toes to lift and expand, and then place them back down. And bring the arms up. And then exhale. Palms up, inhale. Exhale. Palms up. Down and exhale. Inhale up. Exhale through the nose. And one last one, lift up, and then we're going to hold Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Let the shoulders drop down. Look over your fingertips. Make sure that hand back here doesn't drop down too much. Keep strong, grounded, rooted. And release. Bring your feet inward just slightly. Hands on the hips. Put a little bend in the knee if you need to. Fold forward. Bring your arm up. And switch. Switch. And just come down and take a moment here. And slowly begin to bring your feet together. And let's go back into one last little squatting. Just kind of moving back and forth. And then begin to work your way down. I'm gonna move and come onto your backs. So you're gonna come onto your back. I wanna do some core work here. So work your way down. And just lay flat for a moment. Lay flat, let the palms be up. To settle the spine into the earth. Just taking a few moments. And it's a good time for a commercial. So if you know of people who want to take these classes, please spread the word. We'd love to see more people feel comfortable with Zoom. So invite others in Bounty and Soul, maybe share your experience of the Zoom class until we can all like meet up again in person. Okay, that was my commercial. So now we're all down on the ground. Then we're going to bring our feet up. So our feet are going to be planted on the earth and our knees will be bent. And we're going to clasp our hands. Actually, let's clasp our hands and we're going to place them out. And you can see, place them out like towards the knees. And what I want to do is kind of bring ourselves up, keep not a lot of tension in our neck. Hold here, not the breath, but hold. And then come down, bring the arms overhead. Move over to the right side. Hold. And then back to center, bring the arms overhead. Over to the opposite side. And bring the arms overhead. So let's keep doing that. We're going to go a little bit quicker. Center. Arms overhead to the left. See how that feels on your neck? If that's too much, you can use your hands, place them under your head and do the same thing. So we're going to go in the center. You're going to go over to the left, and maybe that feels better for you. I'm sorry, to the right. Back to center. Down, and over to the left. So just keep doing this. You can go a little faster if you want, a little slower. Let's do about 4 more rounds, 5 more rounds. Center, one side, go back to center, and then the other side. Keep breathing. One last round. Good. And then release. Drop the left leg down. Bring the right knee in towards your chest, but let the head rest on the ground. Arms overhead. Release the right leg. Let's bring in the left leg. Other side. And other side. Bring both knees in and then drop the knees over to the other side, opposite side. Just touch them there for a moment. And then come back to center. Then over to the other side. Back to center. Over to the other side, just tap the knee. So you're working your core again. Back to center. The slower you go, the harder it is. Good. One last time. Bring your knees over to one side. Back to center. And over to the other side. And back to center. And take a moment. And bring your feet out past the width of your mat. And then just drop the left knee down. The right knee will also drop to the right side, and really get a good stretch in the in the quadricep and in the lower back. And then the other side. So it's kind of like this nice little windshield wiper, just going back and forth to any remaining tension or tightness that might be felt in the lower back. Nice. And then any last little movement you need to do, just moving for the next few minutes as you wish. Sometimes it's hard to get all the places, or you might just be ready for Shavasana. Whatever your body needs, maybe that felt invigorating enough where you're ready to rest. Get comfortable if you need a bolster under your knees or a little blanket to cover you. Just take a nice cleansing breath, inhaling and exhaling out through your mouth like a big sigh. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling out. And as you're exhaling, feeling a depth to your bones, to your muscles, as they get heavier and heavier into the earth. Allowing the shoulders to melt away from your ears. Many times when we are thinking of love, we feel that need to allow the energy to move outward, move out, to expand the love, to share our love, to bring energy from the inside out to others. But now I want you to really cultivate and feel that energy, that self love, just emanating in, illuminating in your heart chakra, in your heart. So you're kind of pulling the energy more in towards yourself. You're allowing yourself to nurture this feeling of self-love. And as you think of that, feeling kind of like that heart opening, but it's opening on the inside. It's not going outward. It just kind of keeps going deeper and deeper into the heart, all the different layers of the heart. And maybe it was more in the front, but now as you go deeper into self-love, the layers go deeper. Maybe you're more into the middle of the heart. It's like you're journeying within. Maybe from the middle of the heart goes to the back of the heart. You can continue to lay here if you'd like. Just enjoying this feeling of surrendering, letting go, opening the depths of your heart. I thank you all for participating, and I hope to see you next time. Feel free to pass on the information and any feedback for my class you could share. I'm on Facebook. But I hope you have a great day. Namaste to you all. Enjoy the sunshine. Get some vitamin D and take care.